We heard about 8, or at least 8 strikes. They were over the space of about 15 to 20 minutes. We saw large flashes over the southern suburbs of the city, and we heard loud booms a few seconds later, indicating the strikes were, several kilometres to the south. So likely following the pattern we've been seeing over the past couple of weeks of concentrating most of the Israeli strikes in Dahiyeh, which is the term for Beirut's southern suburbs. That's where Hezbollah is thought to have most of its infrastructure and most of its support base. We can see smoke rising and fires, and possibly something that may have been a secondary explosion from one of the sites that was hit near the airport. The Israeli military has been saying that Hezbollah has based weapons production facilities underground underneath residential buildings. After the 2006 war between Hezbollah and Israel, in that war, Israel extensively damaged Dahiyeh, and it's been rebuilt with a lot of residential apartment towers. And Israel says that underneath a number of those are Hezbollah sites where the group is producing weapons, and it says that's what it's been targeting with some of its strikes. In other strikes, it's been targeting Hezbollah, it says, intelligence capabilities, and the intelligence headquarters was one of the sites it claimed to have hit. We don't know, it's very early, we don't know what they were targeting in this case, but there are multiple sites that have been hit and potentially with multiple strikes.
Eric, we know it's something like 22 past 12 in the morning there in Beirut when these strikes have hit. We also know that the Israeli military had issued some warnings for people to evacuate the area. Do you know if people have been heeding these evacuation warnings in the past few days?
Yes, lots of people have left Dahiyeh. Lots of people have been displaced. It's a densely populated residential area, and we've seen tens of thousands of people clear out there. A lot of them have not found anywhere to go. They're sleeping rough around the city. There's huge encampments in the parks, on the footpaths, in the public spaces. A lot of people, and people displaced from the south and the Bekaa Valley as well. So yes, a number of people have, but the area is not entirely clear. There are people who can't go. There are people who are worried to leave. They still don't know exactly where the Israelis are going to strike, and so we don't know exactly how many people have left. And the civil services here in Lebanon, this is the government is dysfunctional. The state has been largely absent, so people are relying on charity. They're staying in schools and getting soup kitchens to feed them and stuff. So there's a number who might not have left because of the fear of how they'd live if they did leave. So the numbers are unclear is my answer, but the impact is certainly huge, and it's apparent wherever you go in the city, not just in the south. All the people who've been displaced from the various parts of Lebanon are in pretty dire circumstances.
Lebanon's national news agency, Eric, had said that air traffic at Lebanon's only airport in Beirut was ongoing despite the this is a quote, Israeli enemies' aggression on the southern suburbs. Is this sort of blast likely to change that or change the circumstances there in terms of the airport?
Well, amazingly, there was really only one airline flying in, and that's Middle East Airlines, the Lebanese national carrier. And amazingly, it's continued flying. And we could actually, this morning I was at the airport, and we could see, smoke rising from multiple airstrike sites, and planes were coming in and going out. And Dahiyeh is next to the airport, so a lot of these strikes are within a few hundred metres, a kilometre or two of the runway and of the main airport complex. It is remarkable that civil aviation in Lebanon is continuing, and clearly they've assessed the risk that Israel is targeting specific sites in Dahiyeh. In 2006, the Israeli military did bomb the airport here in Beirut, but so far they've stayed away from the airport itself, and it's remarkable, but it does remain open.